Glad to have you with us, Hilltopper fans, as we get our 2021 fall sports preview underway, talking Hilltopper volleyball alongside fourth-year head coach Stefanie Holler. Coach, great to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
Fantastic, Coach. Looking forward to this season. Last year, only able to get 13 games in. Fingers crossed that will not be the case this year. You have a full slate of games coming up. We'll get to all those in just a second. But looking back at last year, from a coach's perspective, what was the most difficult thing for you?
Oh man, where to start? I honestly think that it was just the shift from coming in the fall, thinking that we're going to play some type of schedule, and then everything getting pushed to the spring. So honestly, I think the toughest thing right now is it's a little bit tougher this year because we're just coming off of a season and we're right back into it again. So some of how we manage summer things definitely changed this year. So we didn't really have a break.
Coach, to your point, used to playing in the fall, you get pretty much the entirety of the spring off. Your players get to rest, they get to recuperate. As you said, that's not the case this year. I mean, y'all finished up, maybe get a few weeks off, and then it's right back in the gym. As a coach, how do you manage that?
We talked a lot about just in the weight room. I mean, that's specifically what we really focus on in the summertime. So really talking to our strength coach about that and having the girls really buy into the process of what we were trying to do over the summertime. And then, I mean, between injuries and just kind of overuse stuff, I think a lot of it was finding that balance for them of, hey, you need to be playing, but we also need to kind of taper back a little bit more. So I think they learned a lot about how to recover and manage themselves more so than they ever had before because of it. So it's been a blessing in a way.
Coach, another blessing, if you will, a bright spot of last year. For the sixth year in a row, your team awarded USMC AVCA Team Academic Award. How proud are you of your athletes, not just for what they do on the floor, but in the classroom?
Yeah, it's really cool. I think, just with COVID and how they were virtual and all the little curveballs that they were thrown last year, like they really buckled down. And I mean, you come to studs and you come for the academic side of it too. I think being an athlete, that's kind of icing on the cake, right? So you're coming to competitive school, not just athletically, but academically as well. So we take that very seriously. And I'm just over the moon that our GPA was as high as it was. We were the best in the department. So I'm super proud of them.
As well, you should be. Congratulations again on that incredible showing academically. Coach, turning our sights to this upcoming season, you open things September the 3rd, Friday. You head up to the Panhandle, up in Amarillo, the West Texas A&M tournament, first game against UTPB. How excited are you to get back underway playing volleyball in the fall?
I'm stoked. We've been talking about it since last fall, truly, to just have a normal season again. And, we kind of joke with a lot of our returners who didn't have a normal freshman year last year of like, buckle up, you guys, like we're in for a big ride this year. And so they're all excited, but I think there's a little of that nervous energy going around too. But we're actually opening up with a team that we faced in first round of conference tournament last year. So I know a lot of them are a little extra excited to see them in a little bit of a different situation this year. So we're ready.
How do you go about managing maybe the expectations for some of your players that haven't experienced this before?
I think truthfully, it's just more of conversations. A lot of our returners, are giving them kind of helpful hints and tips and tricks of how to manage school and how to be on the road. And, we're still dealing with some COVID protocol stuff, which they're used to. So I think honestly, they're just going to have to go through it to kind of learn how to manage it. But being in school this week has really helped with the time management side of it. So they're kind of all getting into their routines. So it'll be different, but I think they'll be able to manage a lot easier than I think.
You mentioned being on the road. The majority of your early matches are on the road. In fact, your first home match isn't until September the 24th. You take on A&M Commerce at your Recreation Athletics Center. As a coach, some coaches like being on the road. They say they have a little more control over their athletes. Some coaches detest it. What's your opinion of those road matches?
To be honest, I didn't really think too much about it when we were doing the schedule. And some of that is just uncontrollables, right, with our conference season. So I think it'll be good. I think we'll face some adversity that we haven't really faced before in regards to the travel schedule. So I'm excited to see how they kind of rise to the occasion. And, we've been talking about expectations again since last spring and what we need to do in our conference and regionally as well. So they're all prepared. They know the rigor of what's coming with our travel schedule, but they're excited.
Coach, your Hilltoppers tabbed the preseason number 7 in the conference preseason polls. Do you put any stock in preseason polls?
I feel like you ask me this every year, and my answer, hopefully has stayed the same. But I mean, I think it's great to kind of see where other people are expecting you to fall. And it's great that we're kind of in that top half segment again. I think we do have some things to prove, which is really exciting. So I think it's just kind of like a confidence booster, but also a little bit of that motivational factor of, I like that sweet spot. That number 7 is a good spot to be in. So I'm ready to kind of see where we're going to finish and go through the process of that.
Coach, I think your opinion on the preseason polls has remained the same. We'll see if it stays the same next year when we have this conversation. Looking at this season, what are you most excited for?
I'm just excited for us to be a team again. It was really hard not being able to do everything together. And so giving that whole experience of the travel and conference tournament and what that's going to look like for all of our players. We have a lot of returners coming back too, and a few new additions. So I'm just excited to see how we mesh as a team. And we're very process oriented this year. I keep saying that over and over again, but really seeing the kids kind of rise to the occasion and meet those expectations is what I'm really excited for.
Hilltoppers 4th-year head volleyball coach Stefanie Holler joining us, previewing this upcoming 2021 fall season. Important to remember that as well. Coach, obviously the season is around the corner. There's a lot going on. I mean, for you at this point, I mean, how do you get it all in?
Day by day. I mean, I think our practice schedule allows the girls to balance a lot of the extra stuff. I know Coach Will and I are working behind the scenes to just make sure everything fluidly runs together and goes smoothly. So, we're having conversations about travel itineraries and all of that fun stuff so that the girls just get to focus on school and volleyball.
Well, you're just taking it day by day, and rightfully and understandably so. That being said, do you have goals? I mean, are there team goals that you have set for the season? And if so, would you mind sharing them with us?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously academics is one of our top priorities. We still want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence as a student athlete. That always comes first. We talk a lot about, our tournament berth is, we would love to have a conference championship, and that's always a goal. But when we look at the big picture, getting regionally ranked is something that we are still working towards. In 2019, we were regionally ranked number 10. So really increasing that number. So our preseason schedule is hopefully going to help us get that direction. We're playing some pretty tough competition for those regional matches. And so that's something that we talk about all the time. So it's not having to win every match, but winning the right ones to put us in the right position to go to NCAA.
Hilltoppers volleyball season begins on the road. The West Texas A&M tournament up in Amarillo, September the 3rd, Friday, 2 p.m. They take on UT Permian Basin. Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and good luck this year.
Thank you so much.